Hello, and today we are assigning different vapes and different flavours to different incarnations of the Doctor, and that is including Peter Cushing. And I'm here with Andromeda Williams, say hello,
Hello.
Who is my personal vape expert, who will be, I don't vape, I've never smoked anything in my life, but I do have an expert here to help us along the way. So we are going to start from the top, so let's get right into it.
You've got an expert here. You've got your girlfriend here.
Okay, right. Let us begin this fiasco, if that's the word. Okay.
Shenanigans. I'd like to raise shenanigans to the table.
It's a beautiful word. Shenanigans.
Right, we are going to start with the Doctor, played brilliantly by Peter Cushing in the two Dalek Mania movies from the 1960s. Andromeda, what vape do you think this particular incarnation of the Doctor, who is definitely non-canon, would use?
Quick question: is he wearing a wig?
I don't know. You'd have to ask Peter Cushing.
Okay, I think he was the type to go with a bit more of a trad vape. It'd be silver. It might be edged. You never know. If he could get his hands on those like earliest editions of vapes that still look like cigarettes, I feel like he'd puff on one of those. He's more of a. I'd argue he's more of a pipe man himself, and the vape's there for emergency crash outs as it happens. I feel like he'd be a grape. Grape.
Brilliant. Okay, let's move on to the first Doctor, William Hart. He also, by the way, he has a granddaughter called Susan. So
I've watched Doctor Who.
No, but this specific one, the other ones don't really like.
I know this. I have watched the first few episodes of Doctor Who with him in it, with Susan in it. Do you think that it's Susan's vape? He nicks it and denies it.
That sounds like him. Okay, so what vape would Susan have?
See, from what I can remember, she's quite sweet.
Yes, she falls over a lot.
So she'd have to have quite the robust one. I'm thinking, a vape. It would have to be quite modular in design. So I'm thinking, perhaps one of the new Elf Bar 4-in-1s. She's got different options. I feel like she knows that he actually nicks it, so she keeps a couple flavours loaded in that he likes, as well as some for her own. They're quite colourful. The top comes off, but it's easily replaceable, so I feel like she'd go for that, and it's not too of an expensive option. I feel like Susan would like the fruity flavours. I think she'd be a bit of a cherry ice, but maybe a watermelon ice, getting it in there. I think he would quite like something like pear or maybe the lime and lemon. Something not really sweet, but a bit of a home comfort.
Yeah. Okay, we'll go with that. All right, and then we get onto the second Doctor, the Cosmic Hobo himself, Patrick Troughton.
Are you familiar with the vape?
I'm not. Why don't you explain that to us?
So my dearest darling best friend Dorothy had what we lovingly called the retard vape, and we called it that because every time they vaped it, it had rainbow neon lighting. Sorry, I'd like to specify both me and my best mate are autistic, and her autistic father got it for them. So the running joke was, Jesus Christ, how retarded do your parents think you are?
The thing is, the second Doctor does have a recorder which he plays throughout his tenure, so he does enjoy kind of the,
angular ones. I understand that. I just think the whimsy of the retard vape would appeal to him.
Okay. So in conclusion,
Cotton candy next.
Okay. The third Doctor, John Pertwee, which is one of my favourite classic Doctors. He's very upper class. He's very, he knows Venusian Aikido. He doesn't put up with any shit. So. Okay.
I'm hearing you. So from my experience with rich people vaping, they either always have some new disposable vape, so just like an Elf Bar, or they have got one of the new models in the line where you have to mix in your own nicotine shots to liquid ratio, so they can make it really strong. My uncle's got one. It's a bit nasty and it's really hard to vape, so you feel
modding
better.
The vape sounds good. This guy, he likes gadgets.
He really likes gadgets. Can mod those vapes quite nicely, from what I understand.
And in conclusion,
I feel like he'd be the type of one to choose the tobacco flavoured juice, just to be a bit pretentious.
That does make sense, actually.
Just because it's one of those things like, no, see, if I'm gonna vape, I'm at least gonna do it with the flavour of it's meant to be.
Yeah, this makes sense. And now we get on to the fourth Doctor, Tom Baker, the one with the scar.
See,
he's
I
a bit
forgot
crazy.
he exists, otherwise I'd given him the retard vape.
He likes jelly babies, by the way.
I know. I
I know.
express how many times a day I'm offered a jelly baby from Max because he got obsessed with it after seeing Tom Baker do it. So first off, I think he quite like the triple mango flavour.
Oh, that's dodgy, isn't it?
No, it's the one I've got downstairs. It's yummy. But you can get jelly babies, but those ones aren't actually very nice. So I think he'd refuse that one out of the sacredity of jelly babies.
Would that go well with a salami sandwich? Because we all know that the fourth Doctor wouldn't even refuse a salami sandwich.
I wouldn't even say no to a salami sandwich.
I feel like it would. I'm not a massive fan of salami, so I couldn't really give you an opinion massively there. Would you eat a mango with a salami sandwich, personally? Sorry, no, don't ask you. You have Max makes the most disgusting sandwiches on earth and calls them art. I'm not asking you that question. I think we let the people in the comments say. Okay, type of vape. I think another quite fun one. I think he'd get one of the Lost Mary 6000s. Quite colourful. Nothing super special about it. I just think he'd like the simplicity of it at heart.
Peter Davison, the fifth Doctor, the young and quite nice one. He likes cricket. He likes doing young people
He seems
things.
a bit simple. I think it would be just like a plain white vape. It's just your classic. It's like a stick with a changeable coil. You know, like the one that I had originally.
Yes.
The pink one. That,
Yeah.
but instead of it being pink, it's just like a
I miss
white
the pink
basic
one.
vape.
Well, I was quite fond of it. Now, this is going to be an interesting one. Colin Baker, the sixth Doctor, with his multicoloured dream coat, always getting mad at like random things. He strangles his companions in his
Am I
first
allowed
episode.
to repeat vapes? Sorry.
You are, yes.
Okay, so one that I think, have you ever seen the picture of Dexter where he has got the vape that looks like a can with a straw out of it? It's essentially, the vape is like, it's about handheld size. It's those like miniature Coke cans that are like 250 millilitres?
Yes.
It's about that girth. And it's got like a plastic wrapping to be like grape juice. And the tip of it is a rubber straw. I think he'd go with one of those.
Okay.
And I think he'd be the type to go with like sour apple.
He would. I mean, John Nathan Turner, the goat himself, did design his costume going like, I want something totally tasteless. So if he's got a vape that's totally tasteless,
it is god awful, that
yeah,
vape.
it fits him.
It's so bad.
Now we get to my if you don't include Paul McGann, my favourite classic Doctor, Sylvester McCoy, who I have met with the umbrella that I hung on my door. He fancies himself an art manipulator. If you met someone manipulative, what vape do you think they would have?
I'm just going to draw off experience here.
Mm.
So experience-wise, in the past, absolute cunts who are quite manipulative. They tend to be the disposable elf bars.
Right.
Specifically, might I add, they are rather partial to the apple pie flavour.
The apple pie flavour.
The apple pie flavour.
Apple
yes.
pie?
Yes. Also, I'd like to point out, I think you love that umbrella more than me half the time.
Moving on. Paul McGann, the Eighth Doctor. We've watched this film together. I made you sit through this because I will not hear anyone's complaints. I think this movie is so good, and it's such a shame it never went to series. But he's very Victorian. He's the first Doctor to kiss a woman. And
Good for him.
He likes snogging people. So if you were to snog someone, apart from me, what vape would you want them to have?
What vape does Dottie have? Call it a day.
Okay.
Dottie's got a dark green, again, bit basic. They're quite popular. It's like the more square handheld one. It's pretty small, changeable. It's got a head that comes off, and underneath is the coil, and the tank to put the liquid in.
Mm.
It's quite simplistic in nature, but there is quite there is quite a nice detailing to Dottie's thing. It's kind of like got lines going through it that are metallic when you shift it in the light. I think he quite like that. Flavour for him.
He's a Victorian guy. He likes quality. I mean, you've seen his TARDIS. It's filled with like candles and shit, and you know.
I think he would be the type to go for what he thinks is sophisticated. So perhaps, again, I think lemon and lime. I think he'd be a lemon and lime. He feels it's quite sophisticated. It's not massively out there.
Yes.
It's quite nice, actually, lemon and lime.
Cool. Okay, next up we have John Hurt, the War Doctor, the Captain Grumpy himself.
Good afternoon.
Fighting in the Time War, what vape do you have? That's literally the question.
I think he just modded his sonic screwdriver into a vape. He doesn't have time to go get a new one every time it gets blown up.
To be fair, his sonic does look weird. There's a weird kind of red thing on the end of it, and so maybe
he
that's
just hits that,
maybe
and he just uses whatever liquid he can find.
Scraps from the war.
Yeah, maybe metal.
Yeah.
Just pure smelted metal.
Brilliant.
Maybe that's why the Doctor is the way he is. He's been vaping too much metal.
Christopher Eccleston, the 9th Doctor. Survivor's Guilt.
Sleek black vape.
He does like black.
Nothing over the top about it. He doesn't like the fruity flavours. He goes with like a maybe a blueberry, or just something a bit simplistic and plain, nothing too sweet.
Okay.
I know what you deserve. Why should I? You never did.
David Tennant, the 10th Doctor.
I think that he nicks Rose's vape 9 times out of 10. I don't think he's the type to avidly go out and get his own, but he does what everyone does and just does the grabby hand gestures at anyone with a vaping vicinity.
To be fair, literally any promo picture you see of the 10th Doctor, he's doing the Last of the Time Lord's hand gesture, where he's just doing that all the time.
So he just makes grabby hand gestures. It's mainly at Rose. I feel like Rose likes quite the sweet flavours. She only gets the like Elf Bar disposables, any of your bog standard disposable vapes. She likes the sweet flavours, so he will just take anything and then he'll bitch about it and about the flavours, but still refuses to get his own.
Okay, what about Matt Smith, the 11th Doctor, that the old man trapped in a young man's body himself?
He's getting a bit more excited about vapes. He's trying to expand his repertoire. So I think whilst his vape would be simplistic, just like maybe a plain colour, maybe just like a plain deep red, simple head, reusable, nothing fancy about it. You click it, sees how many like puffs you've done. I think he'd have one of those, but what he would switch up quite regularly is the flavours, and he would be the type to try the disgusting flavours that normally nobody else would try. And later on, he steals Amy's vape whenever possible, which infuriates Rory to no end, I've decided.
Yeah, and Clara, well...
He tries to steal Clara's vape. Matt Smith tries to steal Clara's vape, but it goes highly unsuccessfully. Trust me, Clara wouldn't share.
Okay, so getting on to the 12th Doctor, Peter Capaldi, my favourite Doctor, the best Doctor, you cannot argue. Does he have his own vape? I feel like he's
a roller himself.
Really?
Does rollies more than anything, but then Clara had to learn because he could never be asked, but he always wanted one. So Clara mainly rolls him, keeps a couple in her pocket for him, or in like a tin in her pocket for him. But he has he has an emergency panic vape, so when he can't light up a cigarette for whatever reason, he'll have a vape. Again, just plain black, simplistic. He always forgets to change the head, so Clara's had to take around to carrying like spare heads and stuff on her. I think he would say he doesn't like the flavours, so he goes with just tobacco again.
Interesting. Well, when Clara leaves, when she gets killed by a bird and Bill comes along, does that change anything? Or?
So Bill would obviously have a very fruity, colourful vape. Like one of those ones with 4 flavours that lights up and can connect to your phone, because she thought it was really cool that you could use it as a speaker.
She does like her emojis. What about Nardole? Does Nardole
Nardole is a vape. Yeah, the doctor just vapes Nardole at that point.
Okay. Well, what about then your favourite doctor, Jodie Whittaker?
She would similarly have a retard vape. I think she'd revert back to her roots and get really excited every time it goes on, but she's terrible at remembering to use it. So 9 times out of 10, she's making grabby hands at Yasmin and sharing her vape with her, and because they're in lesbians together, she just can't resist. She loves the fruity flavours. She doesn't like the ones that are a bit tart, I think, but she just steals them, and once Yaz learns of this preference, Yaz starts to carry around one she knows the doctor likes. The TARDIS is the biggest nicotine addict of them all.
Of course.
And the reason that the doctor's...
It's just pure vape liquid.
No. You see, the reason that the doctor's such a nicotine fiend is because the TARDIS wants the doctor to vape inside to get that sick second-hand nicotine rush. And
the TARDIS vapes?
The TARDIS vapes.
The TARDIS vapes.
In
you
my
heard it
universe,
here first, folks.
The TARDIS vapes. And so that sound, that whirring sound, is actually the sound of the TARDIS vaping. It's not the brakes, it's the TARDIS vaping. I've cracked it. I knew first.
14. Does he still not have a vape? Does he vape Donna or Rose's as Rose?
So
Noble's
I think
vape?
Donna tried to stop vaping and just didn't happen, but she managed to stop smoking. So we'll take that. I know she didn't smoke originally, but in this one she does. After dealing with like her granddad and his obsession with the TARDIS for a bit, I feel like there's no other thing to do other than sit at his greenhouse and have a massive smoke. Rose was forbidden to vape at all. Her mum caught her like 13 once, puffing on one, and you have not seen a crash out so bad since Donna had to lose her memories. But as for David Tennant in this era, I think, so this is drawing off of Joe and Phil. They have these massive fucking vapes that smell and taste like shit. It's like mint mixed with aniseed. Joe and Phil are Dottie's parents, by the way. Yeah, it's like mint mixed with aniseed. And they are quite big and they are nasty and they never change the tanks, and that is what David Tennant has. Yeah. And it's really battered. It came battered.
Well, to be fair, 14 he is canonically battered. He needs to stop. He's got mental health issues. And then we get on to the most recent Doctor, Ncuti Gatwa, he'd have something fruity. Come on.
Yeah, no, he would have one of those 4-in-1 ones, not the Elf Bar, the knockoff ones. Just because I think that he would like to be able to patch in and like make an unlimited battery life with it, so he doesn't have to keep on recharging it, or something like that. And he keeps a flavour in his vape, the ones he knows his companion likes.
I feel like Ruby is the first Gen Z companion that has to canonically vape. If you look up on TARDIS Wiki, there's probably a page on vapes, and I'm sure that it's been mentioned somewhere.
Yeah, I know. I think Belinda doesn't, because she's a nurse and is too worried about the effects, because we haven't done enough studies. But he keeps one in for Ruby, and I think he keeps one in for Mel, because Mel knows she can't go and have a smoke inside of a unit, but god damn it, does she need nicotine in a pinch.
Do you think, I mean, obviously Ncuti has this vape, but would he have a different, because he changes his outfit like every half an episode, does he have a different vape for a different outfit, or does he just keep that bit the same?
I think he's patched it with a chameleon circuit so that its colour changes to match his outfit.
That's very technical of you.
Thank you.
Now we get on to the extra Doctors. I mean, we already mentioned Peter Cushing, but we move on to the Schalke Doctor. So 2003, before Doctor Who got brought back, Richard E. Grant himself played an incarnation of the Doctor. This version of the Doctor does have he has an inhaler. So does that affect anything?
Quick question, is that actually Nosferatu and you're bullshitting me?
No, basically he's just really, really frustrated with everyone. He hates everything. He
has a vape, but it keeps on going burnt because he's not supposed to vape it, and it just does that.
That makes sense. Joe Martin, Fugitive Doctor.
Oh, the Fugitive Doctor. Flavour, I think that she's got one of the ones with 4 flavours because she likes to switch between them depending on what mood she's in. She's got like a really sweet one. She's got just like a lemon and lime basic one. She's got some fruity ones. I feel like she's the type of person to have like the cranberry, raspberry, blueberry combo.
Next, we got onto the Curse of Fatal Death Doctors.
I have watched this.
We do have Richard E. Grant here again. So first of all, we've got up.
Okay, right, Mr.
Bean.
Mr. Bean in the middle. He seems a bit mischievous. He's a bit flirty. He needs something laid back because in the Curse of Fatal Death, he settles down with his companion because they fall in love. So he wants something laid back. Okay.
The sofa of reasonable comfort.
Okay.
What happened to them?
They discovered the sofa of reasonable comfort.
Oh.
I'm thinking he just goes with disposables then. Bit laid back. He chucks them out. He only gets it when he feels like it, and that's only really maybe once or twice a week. He's not straight up addicted. I feel like he'd actually would like the fun flavours, but only if he's in the mood. So most of the times he just sticks with like just a pretty chill, nothing special flavour. But every now and again he just really fancies getting like cotton candy or blueberry raz.
This makes sense. And then we have Richard E. Grant again, licking the mirror handsome. Do you want to give him the same as the Schalke Doctor, or?
I'm gonna say he's got a vape that like again connects to his phone, but only because he likes to be able to see his notifications.
The next one is this guy, Jim Broadbent.
I recognise him.
He played Professor What's-His-Face in Harry Potter, and he cannot deal with women, this Doctor. He cannot.
He does not have a vape because he's too scared of it. Of like the unknown effects.
And next up we have, what's his name?
Oh, Pretty Boy from Love Actually.
Pretty Boy from Love Actually.
Okay, yeah, he does have a vape, but he only uses it when he's by himself, and it's just like a plain one because of that. He likes to smoke cigarettes in front of people to try and show off how cool he is. He's trying to give off Dexter. He's trying to pull off the Smolder. He's trying to do a Dexter over there.
Okay. And then finally we have Joanna Lumley.
She's got one of those fancy ones where you adjust everything to your perfect vaping experience. Where you can adjust how much nicotine, how much puff, how much flavour. Yeah, she's got one of those fancy ones.
That makes sense. Next up we have The Watcher. So this is from an episode called Logopolis. It's Tom Baker's final story. And there's a character that appears that is apparently a manifestation of the 5th Doctor before he regenerates into him. It's a bit complicated and they never really resolved it. But he does look like a ghost.
Purely because he looks quite crusty, I'm going to go with the rubber tip can vape again, just for conveniality. Then he can really get the tip in there to suck. He looks a bit frozen. I don't think he's got the manoeuvrability in his lips to really properly get around it.
Okay, next up we have the Valiard. This is an amalgamation of the darker sides of the Doctor, but he hates everyone basically.
He never buys his own vapes. He steals it off the person closest to him whenever he fancies one. So he doesn't have his own vape. He goes for absolutely anything. But if he doesn't like the flavour, he will then do what he needs to do to that person for getting the wrong flavour.
And then we get onto the Dream Lord.
He again, I feel like in his heart he would want the retard vape for the whimsy, but he's got a professor character to portray. So I feel like again he'd have this kind of like David Tennant's big, robust, always tastes a bit shit, but it's more like a newer version that doesn't taste as shit, and he always goes with like a mint.
Right, next up we have the Morbius Doctors in a 1976 story called The Brain of Morbius. There are a few incarnations shown before William Hartnell, and there's 8 faces. Yeah,
just whatever's lying about. They all just kind of stick within the same basic range, with the exclusion of Rasputin, who likes the fruity stuff. They're all quite basic. And is that William V at the bottom there?
Huh? I don't believe so. Next up we have the Unbound Doctor, portrayed by David Warner, RIP, great actor. He's in Titanic actually. So he is, he's just audio bound. So are there any vapes that make like really strong sounds?
Most vapes make like a crackling noise. The big beaten up one, it's a bit naff, goes with the minty flavour, makes a really awful crackling sound.
And that is it. That is every incarnation of the Doctor.
Oh no, don't say every, because you're going to have some knobhead in the comments going, actually, you missed this one.
Okay, well, whoever's in the comments doing that, don't, because I'm going to put on screen right now all of the ones that I missed out. And yes, we didn't do the Meta Crisis Doctor.
I might. You haven't checked that off with me.
Okay, Meta Crisis Doctor, what would he have?
Which one's that?